Hi everyone, my name is Nabiha. So I just wanted to make a little video, as the name suggests, about CLP tips and tricks. And it's actually quite overdue because I took the exam back in 2022. But I just figured that I have learned a few tips and tricks that worked for me. And just a disclaimer, this is just how I approach it. You can use whatever tips and tricks that work for you. This just happened to work for me. So I guess I'll just start with what the CLP is. For anyone who doesn't know, the CLP is a professional legal exam that you have to take if you do your degree anywhere else besides a local uni and you don't learn local Malaysian law. So you would have to take this professional exam after your degree, before your pupillage. And in case no one knows, it does have quite a hard passing percentage, or rather quite a low passing percentage on an annual basis. So hopefully this video will help anyone who is struggling. So as you know, there are 5 papers, or as you may not know, there are 5 papers to the CLP. So there's the general paper, which consists of tort and contract. And also there's evidence, criminal and civil procedure, the professional paper, which consists of land law, insolvency, ethics, and professional practice. And then, yeah, those are the 5 papers. So I guess I'll just go chronologically and tell you about what I did to pass the exam, or what my process was like. So first of all, lectures and tutorials. I would say go to every lecture or tutorial that there may be. I was still having online lectures, so it was quite easy for me. I understand that it might be not as easy for other people because the classes are back to physical now, I believe. But if you can, please do make it to every lecture or class. I mean, you're already paying for it. I believe the fees were like 15K for the course at BAC, and around 6K for the exam itself. So get your money's worth and go to the class because it will help you. But yeah, so I had online classes and it was actually quite beneficial for me because I managed to get over my fear of asking questions in public and like feeling self-conscious. I think like just having no one know me, like just asking questions through the screen and like in the chat really helped me like be proactive in the lectures and tutorials. So I would advise you to really make use of the lectures and the lecturers and tutorials, and ask all the questions you have, because while I know that there is a lot of memorization required for CLP, but understanding what you're trying to memorize makes it a lot easier, and you should use all the resources at your fingertips, if you're taking the course at BAC or anywhere else. So yeah, I would say be present in the lectures and be present in the tutorials. Prepare well for them if you can. For lectures, that's pretty much what I did. I asked a lot of questions. I wasn't the only one, thankfully, because I think that would have been quite obnoxious of me. But yeah, just really make use of the lectures. They're there to help you, so let them help you. Next is, I suppose, preparation for the exam itself, like how I studied. I think I started actually revising properly was 3 months before the exam. And thankfully, because I was so vocal in class, like online, someone reached out to me to form a study group. And I think that really helped in breaking down the past papers and analyzing it and having discussions so we could all properly understand what we were answering what our questions were and what our answers were. So if you have access to a study group, I would highly recommend it if that is the way you think you can learn better or absorb the knowledge better. Very, very useful. It's also really useful to have a supportive group that is going through the same exact thing that you are. Um, really, really helpful because CLP will drive you crazy sometimes, or most times. And then outside of the study group, okay, so let me just explain what we did in the study group. So we just took different subjects, obviously, and different past papers, and just prepared for them, and then discussed our answers every week or so. And it really helped to understand each other's points of view and other understandings, see if it aligned with yours, see if yours could be corrected or could be improved. So yeah, a very useful technique for group studies. Also, apart from group studying, I also did past papers myself, obviously. I wouldn't say I had a different approach to any subjects. I don't think, in terms of notes during class, since it was online and it did go pretty fast, the lectures, I did take notes online, but honestly, I didn't really use the online notes or the digital notes because I used the ones that I annotated in the study manual itself, or I took in a separate notebook. I find that I can absorb notes better when they're handwritten. So, whatever works for you. If typewritten notes are good for you, then go for that. I personally used handwritten notes because it made me memorize things easier and made me understand things easier. I think my handwriting, because it's so familiar, it made it memorable to me. So that's what I did. I wrote notes when I can, and then obviously I did past papers. The lecturers would also go through the past papers with you, so you have guidance to the answers that you have written. And then also I wrote down case laws for each subject, for each chapter. I literally wrote it all down just so I could memorize it better. Then I would go through those list of case laws or provisions that they won't provide you with in the exam, and that helped because, like I said, I memorize better when I write things down by hand. And then I honestly think that's it. Obviously, it's such a gruesome exam to go through, and I remember like being a rain cloud throughout the entire thing, and during the exam itself, like, crying, breaking down, especially before the civil procedure exam because there was so much to cover. But you will get through this. And just remember the exam itself doesn't define you. And I know it's easier said than done, but try your best to really choose to do this exam because you want to pursue this career, not because of your parents' expectations or anyone else's expectations of you or any other reason, because this career really is not for the weak. Takes a lot out of you, and can be quite a struggle, can be quite challenging. So make sure that you actually want to pursue this career. CLP is just the first step. So I hope that this tips helped. I hope that I could provide you some comfort. I did thankfully pass the first time, so I hope you will too. This might not apply to everyone, but spiritually, after the exam, I prayed very earnestly. I prayed like the most earnest I could have prayed for anything, to be honest, to pass the exam for the first time because I knew I'd never wanted to do that again. I honestly didn't want to spend the money again, and also I didn't want to go through that mental hurdle of taking the exam or going through studying for the exam again, because it was just a lot. It was just a lot. So I believe when this is up, it'll be quite some time before the next exam. I think the new course session has just started. So I wish everyone the best of luck and all the best in your exams and all the best in the course. If you have any questions, just leave them below. And I will see you guys later. Bye.